United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mary. Jenna. Here. Mary.
Here.
Annette.
Here.
Bob.
Here.
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It was like the scene from Christmas Vacation where I think you guys are all gonna stand up and do it again. Next up, we have citizen input. Are there any citizens that wish to address the council?
It's beautiful.
Next up, I'll be looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda to include the minutes of December 2023 town council meeting, the minutes of December 2023 town council executive session, minutes of December 2023 special town council meeting, and claims totaling $748,346.46.
I will move to approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yes, the only thing I have to say is you're gonna have two docs to sign tonight. One is ending in 23 and one is the beginning of 24 because this is three of you's first time doing it at the end of the year.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mary.
Aye.
Jenna.
Aye.
Mary.
Aye.
Annette.
Aye.
Bob.
Next up, we have an announcement. We have a joint town council and all board and commission study sessions scheduled for February 17th at 10 a.m. We also have a proclamation for Joan Wotina that I will be happy to read here. A proclamation honoring and celebrating the 105th birthday of Joan Wotina. Whereas the longevity of life is a blessing for an individual and for a community that benefits from the knowledge, creativity, and experiences that this individual brings to all. And whereas Joan Wotina was born on January 24th, 1919, and has been a resident of Dyer since 2014. And whereas through her lifetime, she has seen many changes to our community and our world. And whereas the Dyer Town Council desires to publicly recognize Miss Wotina upon the occasion of her century birthday. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Dyer Town Council hereby offers its admiration, congratulations, and very best wishes to Miss Wotina on her 101st birthday. Be it further proclaimed that this proclamation shall be delivered to her with our best wishes for many more happy years of health and happiness. Adopted and proclaimed by the Town Council of the Town of Dyer, Lake County, Indiana, this 18th day of January, 2024. I'll be seeking a motion to accept this proclamation.
I'll make a motion to accept the proclamation.
A motion, do I have a second?
A second motion.
Roll call, please.
Mary.
Aye.
Jenna.
Aye.
Mary. Aye. Annette.
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Just to add a little something to that, our office received a call notifying us of this monumental birthday. Sue jumped in and kind of orchestrated us between us and the facility where she's at. And we are going to hand deliver this next week with a little bit of bells and whistles. Unofficially, we've been told it may be the oldest resident in Lake County. We're still digging into that. And try to confirm that before we really kind of advertise that. But we're going to try to get Joan to log into her YouTube here, which I'm not sure, but if she does watch this, she'll know that everybody here had taken some time to talk about her and think about her 105 years. So I will circulate this at the end, and then we are going to hand deliver it with the police and fire department next week. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Next up, we have reports. We'll start with Town Council, Ward 2. Clinton.
We're skipping you, huh? Okay. You know, I just want to say, I got the privilege of being in a meeting for some hopefully upcoming public art that we're gonna have, and that's very exciting for me, that we're gonna have, you know, some art displayed. I saw what was going, you know, the proposed design, and I'm just really excited about this. I think art in Dyer is gonna be really beautiful. So I'm looking forward to that. We already have so many good things going on with the Gold Star Memorial, and now we're kind of bringing it around to different parts of the town. So I really like that. And I also want to thank our, you know, Public Works. We don't thank you enough. So kudos to you. I mean, I learned all about frazzle ice. I didn't even know about that and how it can really mess up a town. So something else to be praying about. And just, I love the fact that we work together. That's so very important. Transparency not only promotes unity, but you know, creativity. So I hope it continues. So, and kudos to you, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to Ward 3.
No news is good news, so I have nothing to report tonight, but I also want to thank everyone in the town for all their hard work. We all really appreciate it, and I hope everyone stays warm tonight.
Thank you. Ward 4, Councilman Tennis.
I have to tell you, it's been the most exhilarating 3 days that I have in a long time. I was at the Accelerating Indiana Municipalities session for newly elected town council members. Believe it or not, we have 836 new town council members here in Indiana. And at our first meeting was in Indianapolis. Over 500 of them showed up for the first mock town council meeting, and we had 2 of them, and they were pretty hilarious at times, but they had such good questions, and they're so anxious to learn how to do their job the best that they can. So that was there was 2 mock town council sessions, and then today we finished up with a lot of question and answer periods, but people came there to learn about budgets, about how important the clerk treasurers are. And it was really fun to talk to people and hear their enthusiasm. All of our neighbors were all represented at that meeting, so it was nice to see what was going on. But again, I wanted to thank Public Works because we learned from all of our surrounding communities what went on with the water yesterday. But we all kind of worked together because we knew we were there to make our town even better. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Ward 5.
Really have no news. Nothing as of right now. Oh, I did get some concerns about if we could possibly do something behind the jewel area to clean it up a little. I know there's been the bread trays and things like that that are just thrown in the back there. If we could contact the owner, let them know, and if maybe we could try and beautify it back there as far as fixing it up. So fencing is really bad, so maybe we could reach out. And that's all I have.
Thank you. As for my report, I'd like to echo everyone up here and thank you Public Works for their hard work with this last snow event. Sending them warm thoughts for tonight's possible snow event. A very gentle reminder to residents, one that our police department has been putting out there, to move your cars off the street after snowfall of more than 2 inches. It is a safety issue for Public Works, and it's also a courtesy to your neighbors I want to thank the park board and Justin for getting us the pricing for the Heritage Estates Park. With that email, we're grateful for that. You know, the residents in that neighborhood will be grateful for that. It is the oldest park we have left and the first one we did at the, we can say this, the turn of this century. So that would be nice to see some work done on that. And as for the public art that Ms. Tim spoke about, some of those drawings and what the person has done in other communities, there's one on Highland that is just, I think it's on 45th.
Mhm, it is.
That if we're looking at that caliber for this location, I think it'll be a treat for everyone. So that'll be excellent. And that's all I have. Next up, we have clerk treasurer's report.
Yes, all the W-2s were delivered with the last payroll, so that should have made everybody happy, the first shoot out of the bed. 1099s are all done and the 1095s will be mailed out by the end of the month. So that's great. Closing out as of today, the 2023 budget. We're gonna double check it because we have to, two of us looked at everything and then I'm having people double check it just to make sure we didn't do anything. And if not, next week we'll start downloading the new budget. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Town
Oh,
manager.
one more thing I forgot, the AFRs are gonna be doing right around the corner in March, and thank you to all the department heads for helping out with that, with your capital assets of deletions and what you've accrued. Keeps everything in track and it helps out also with our insurance cost.
Thank you. Town manager.
Yes, we mentioned the snow scenarios going on. I just wanted to share a little bit of a collaborative effort that it takes to make the streets the way they are. The snow plows do a great job. They're out there first thing. They have to hit some municipal sidewalks, some parkways, police and fire obviously are a priority to get the trucks in and out. They are constant communication with the police department, who does a great job of getting to the areas and clearing the streets. The fire department's assessing the situations with some of the bigger snows that, knock on wood, the hydrants need to be accessible. This past one was just a joint effort by everybody. I think the last result we want is to write a ticket or tow a car, but people need to know that if that's going to prevent your street from getting plowed, then it will happen, and the police department has strictly put that out there. So we'll look forward to that. I know there's a snow scenario coming tonight, possibly. So we jumped on that ahead of time with the Facebook posts, and the town text will go out once the snow starts hitting. So everybody should be well aware, 2 inches of snow, cars need to be off the streets. We have, we're working on our lease purchase. This will include squad cars, pickup trucks, utility vehicles, and dump trucks. We hope to have something to the council for our February meeting to approve a lease purchase program here. The squad cars will be the first thing that'll be arriving probably somewhere in March, late February or March. Some of the public works vehicles that'll be on this list, if you guys approve it, will be pickup trucks. Those will be available probably first half, but then there is probably 2 vehicles on there that are probably a custom build that might be towards the end of the year. So that'll round out our 2024 lease purchase program. And I hope to have some competitive numbers to you on your February agenda. As you read in the announcements, we have the joint board meeting of all the boards, commissions, and council set for February 17th at 10 a.m. We'll be working with the department heads to clearly present the expectations for that day. Though it is a board kind of presentation, the department heads kind of need to lead that way and make sure that the right information is presented, and that the department heads will then have the opportunity to kind of take the last couple minutes to close out what the expectations are for 24. We are working on a town council park board meeting somewhere in the near future. I've corresponded with park board president, and we'll get you some dates to look at. A large event that our office is working on right now is a complete job description rewrite review. Our goal is within the next 10 weeks to have a job description for every single title that's on the salary ordinance that is both accessible to the employees and to the staff as well. So if you are in any position, you should be able to click on the job description that's clearly present for you. It's a very big project and it's long overdue. So we're really excited about that one. And then my office is putting together a special events calendar for you guys' review. We're gonna take every month, remainder of the year, kind of spell out what special event we have going on for that month so that we can really start advertising and get some volunteers to help out, whether it's Christmas tree lighting next December. Again, August will be a nice I think National Night Out. And so we just want to have one thing a month that the town is promoting as a community activity. This is above and beyond parks programs or anything like that, but we're gonna try to advertise for one event per month. That's all I have.
On that note, when you said for volunteers and Tom's still here, we do have to keep track of all the volunteers who volunteer. So in case something happens on town property, they're covered by our insurance, correct, Tom?
Yeah, the concept is, we don't want to assume liability. This is what's transpired in the past. And the road application of first impact, just something that request us to have a roster on file. The accuracy of the roster is less important than actually having it. As long as we have the roster, then probably should be aware of $25,000. Doing beyond that. Viable. So.
You know, you might want to send a copy of that to Lake Central because I know the Honor Society has requirements for the kids to volunteer. Good
Absolutely.
opportunity.
We look forward to those because they're eagerly willing to volunteer, but also required to volunteer. So those are
That's
some of
right.
the best ones.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Town attorney?
I always thought it wasn't volunteering if you were required to do it. I will just add that that roster is important for protecting the town because I've been involved in cases where there's no compliance on the insured's part, and then the insurance company files what we call a deck action to say we don't know coverage because there's been no compliance by the insured. So always make sure from our end, our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. I was looking at the minutes that were approved, and I see we had 37 resolutions and 35 ordinances last year. This is a busy council, and I want to congratulate you for the hard work you do and the activity I see. Stuff is getting done. And other than that, everything I have is its own agenda item.
Thank you. Department heads, we'll start with Public Works.
Again, I think we've talked about the weather a lot, but again, I'll just kind of brief on what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Again, we've been salting roads, plowing. Again, we've had some very unique weather phenomenon from snow turning into rain, flooding roads, dealing with all that phenomenon. So again, we're gonna continue to take care of those things and make sure that the roads are very passable and all the buildings are continuing to be accessible for the public and such. But again, even when we had those snow events and rain, again, the wastewater plant was treating high flows the exact right when we're plowing, which is very unusual for this time of year. But again, it was challenging, but we were happy we got it all done. So I want to thank my guys publicly, because again, they put a lot of hard work into it, and I appreciate that work. As you're all aware, the frazzle ice situation we had from the Hammond water system, again, they had to shut their water off, which then prevented Highland, which then prevented us from getting water. We're now getting water from Highland at this point. Again, it's at 1,200 gallons per minute. Typically, we're right around 800 gallons per minute at this time of year. So we're getting filled back up very slowly. But Hammond's not fully up to 100% at this time. So again, I think as the weather warms up, that'll get better, and then we'll get back to our up to normal flows if we need to. So that's going well. We're going to continue on working on early 2024 projects, such as the right-of-way mowing contracts, getting some prices for pavement markings. As Dave said before, we're going to get some specifications and prices for some vehicles for replacement. And we're also working on our end of year report for 2023. And lastly, we're also in the process of replacing a few more public works employees. So again, we're going through that process as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Parks.
Just a rundown on some of the projects. The Central Park Pavilion, was making great progress until the cold spell hit where they kind of had to shut down all work. There's only a couple days left until we have to wait till weather till we can get our ramps in there so we can get to a point where we need to pour concrete, and we can't do that till the weather unfortunately warms up a little bit. The berm, the shaping's complete. The next phase is the seed and blanket, and that'll take place once the weather warms up just a little bit here because the ground is very, very frozen right now. Shade structure, we're the same place we were last meeting. The footings are sufficient. New posts have been ordered. Their expected delivery date is late February, early March. And as soon as that's been delivered, coordinate with the installer and that'll get done relatively quickly. 24 project here, Sandy Ridge Park improvement and pickleball courts at Heritage and Everly Park, or I'm sorry, Hearthstone and Everly Park. Those are in the bid formulation process where we're in the next couple months here, we're gonna have those out to bid. And then as you Councilman Starkey mentioned, the park board asked me to put together some estimates on the Heritage Estates playground improvement. I sent those over to you all as well. The estimates were unfortunately a little off. I forgot to include the 5% markup that Landscape Structures attaches after their year, excuse me, at the beginning of a new year, which is why we did order that Sandy Ridge playground equipment, if you remember, so early, was because part of it was there was a six month lead time. The other part was that there was going to be a price increase. And so the new estimate would be between 320 and 375,000, depending on which option was selected. And then as far as activities go, Friday, February 2nd, we have our daddy-daughter dance that is at St. John Township Center. And Saturday, February 3rd, we have our second, it's a 2-day event. Our second day is at St. Maria Goretti. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Operations.
Code enforcement gave out 3 tickets in December, 2 for junk vehicles and 1 for trash. 824 213th, if you haven't been by, the house is done and gone. I actually took a picture and sent it to the old owner down in Florida, and he said, good luck with the snow. And he liked how it looks. So, we got a lot of good training out of that house. The house will be ready now in the spring. We'll go back and throw some seed because when they finished up, it was just too cold to get any seed down. And then American Bloom or whoever that wants to get in there, there's a lot of flowers in there and some bushes I think we can slowly take out of there and transplant. The one thing I did do was Tom, the guy that owned the house, he was a botanist, graduated from Ball State, and he had this tree started as a baby and he kept bending, and it's a corkscrew tree, really neat. So I had him, the tree was going to have to get moved because where the garage was. So I had him dig it up. And if you go by the Gold Star Memorial, I planted it there because I thought it was a really, really neat tree and that would be a neat place to have it. So, so that's there if you ever get a chance to drive by and see that. I'm hoping it's going to take, talk to a couple people, they think it'll live. So I'm hoping. We're working on the CRS recertification that's due February 1st. What that is, that's our community rating system program that we're in. In Lake County, it's only us and Maryville that are in this program. And by doing certain things, we give our residents who have flood policies, they get a percentage off. So that's something that we're real proud of here in Dyer that we keep doing. So we're recertifying that. 213th in Sheffield, where you've seen the fence and all the poles. That's a NIPSCO thing that's going on. It's basically there's 82 poles that they're going to be dropping off there. And off of Illinois Street, there's a substation, 1 street north of Kyleman. And from that substation all the way to the corner of 213th and Sheffield, those are the 82 poles. So they think they're going to be done with that site by the end of June. So that upgrade should be nice when they do stuff like that. If you look at some of the poles over time, they wear, and if a bad storm were to come, you know, by proactively doing some of these poles, we'll have more power and we should have, you know, better utility. If you've been down the train station too, they're working down there pretty hard, doing a lot of poles. They're having road closings. We've been posting those to let people know it's not a bad road closure because it's kind minus the people that live there that might have some speeding cars and stuff. It's a short detour kind of, so it's not too bad. And today I saw they started to go west with the poles, so I feel like they're gonna go west and then connect to the tower, if you've seen it in Munster, where all the power is gonna be brought in. So that's going really well. And then, the last thing that I would mention is, for Plan Commission, we're getting some new calls and people coming in wanting to do stuff. And I had mentioned this to Dave the other day about Indiana Street, and sure enough, the next day I get a call and a gentleman already wants to come in. If you don't know where Indiana Street, it's where the old home lumber was, right across the street. That would be Indiana. It runs parallel to the east, with the railroad tracks. And there's one house down there. It's kind of at a gravel road. So there's like 5 buildable lots. They're not really big, but 5 buildable lots. And there'd have to be improvement of the road, curb, storm sewer and all that. So a gentleman's gonna come into our February meeting at the Plan Commission to start talking about that. And then I also talked to another gentleman today that owns the lot next to Centier Bank on Sheffield Avenue. And he had gotten a plan approved about 7 or 8 years ago. That's Tony Belmonte's property, and he wants to come back in, and he's got some really nice ideas for that. So I'm hoping that, that 24 is gonna get some nice projects coming in.
Thank you. Next up, fire.
Numbers report, we had 187 calls for service. 27 EMS, 0 structure fires, 1 vehicle fire, 8 motor vehicle accidents, 14 citizens assist, 9 false alarms, 5 fuel alarms, 3 natural gas leaks, 12 mutual aid runs, and 8 township calls. Then we continue with our smoke and seal detector installed. And we've been getting a lot more car seats coming in lately, and we're putting in for people and adjusting. We've been doing schools and businesses and fire inspections. Have finished our evaluations of our employees and all their goal objectives for 2023. Joe Bach was the firefighter of the year for 2023. Logan Kalatowski was named 2023 probationary firefighter. Ian Mizak and Logan Stein began the Lake County Fire Academy on January 5th. The academy ends on June 7th. We haven't really had a good haul of toys in for the kids, the boys that died. We did combine with the police department that worked out really well. And we've had 2 lieutenant applications that will start that process very soon. And we have fire instructor 3 beginning January 30th, 7 dire fire members and more than that. And that will give us 8 certified to that level of instruction. For a total of 23, we had 1,822 calls. Then we have the year-end report, and you guys look at that. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
I have one question. And the mutual aid, you said you had 12 mutual aids this last month. What towns were they incorporating? Do you know?
You're looking at quite a few runs. It's St. John. Yeah, out there, whatever,
Okay. Right, I was just curious. That seemed like a higher number than usual.
Yeah,
I was just,
have a lot of bad luck in.
I was just wondering. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. No, I think it's definitely necessary. Totally understand. Thank you.
What is the response time? I was just kind of curious what the, like, if
I'd
there's
like to get those up, St. John.
per like a fire and dire.
5 minutes, I think.
I think as long as we do the guidelines, we're looking at 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
Or guys come in,
As long as the weather's decent.
Okay.
oh, St. John, by the way. I don't know what that's.
Thank you. Police.
In December, the police department resolved 724 incidents, 836 arrests. And the 27 accidents wrote 274 citations and over 500 complaints. Prior to the meeting, I provided a lot of Chief wanted me to remind everybody again about the 2-inch snowfall. We did prepare. And lastly, we are moving forward with the hiring process of the officer that has passed all its testing.
Thank you.
I had a quick question about parking, not about the snow, but some residents asked me, they've noticed a lot of cars parked the wrong way. Is that against a traffic rule or
Yeah.
there is an ordinance? Okay, I wasn't sure. We were talking about that and I wasn't sure if anything had changed and I had started to notice it too, that there's a lot of cars parked the wrong way. So thank you.
I can get you a copy.
Sure, sure.
Thank you. Next up, we have road projects. Neil, come forth and bring us good news.
Always. New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
We have, January 2024 road project update. The CCMG 2022-1 projects which were Magnolia, Madison, and 214. Those are completed. Project has been closed out with NDOT, and we will proceed with our 1-year guarantee period inspection prior to the fall of this year. The 2023 local projects, those are complete. The CCMG 2023-1 Lake and Ivy, those are complete with closeout with NDOT proceeding. We have till, I believe, May or June to close those out, so we're on schedule with that. The CCMG 2023-2, which is Harrison from 213th to Edmond, plans will be available tomorrow morning, and we will have a recommendation and award it for February town council for that. Getler and Step designs proceeding. We have some additional utilities that we're coordinating with public works staff on, and we anticipate that to bid in the spring, construct this year. Monument Avenue, Central Park Boulevard, we opened those bids Tuesday of this week, and at the RDC meeting, we'll have a recommendation or award for that project. 2024 community crossings. This year, there is an additional $500,000 available to communities, so we anticipate going for every nickel of that $1.5 million matching grant. And for, I'll go in reverse order. For the 2024-2, we're looking at a recommendation for reconstruction of 212th Place, which has been on the list for many years because there's a lot of utilities there. But for the 2024-1 projects, looking to maximize dollars and minimize engineering and staff expenditures, we're recommending staff level to do a resurfacing on that. And I coordinated with Frank and Dave and Jeff and their staffs regarding what that recommendation was. And I think, Frank, you have a map available for the council to review. And if you don't have that now, we can send that out. But I can go over the list if you like to do that. So at least what we're recommending you may consider. January 31st is the deadline for the application. We have, if you positively consider these, you have them ready to go with the application for NDOT. So that list is Harvest Lane from Harvest Drive to Stonebridge, Stonebridge Drive from Marion to Summit Way, Marion Lane from Crestview to Stonebridge, Summit from Crestview to Stonebridge, Harvest Lane South from Valley View to Crestview Drive, Lake Street from US 30 to Carnation, Gardenia from Cozy to Rosemary Court, Rosemary Court from Gardenia to 215th Street, Monticello Drive from Lake Street to Sheffield Avenue, Wildflower Lane from Heritage Drive to the end of the cul-de-sac, Heritage Drive from Cambridge Lane to Sheffield Avenue, Camelot Drive from Clover Lane to the north end of Howard Castle, and then Howard Castle from that extension of Camelot down south to Clover, and then 213th Street from the south entrance to Briar Ridge east to Greenwood Avenue. And they're generally these areas are spaced throughout town, but each group is geographically located, so we get the best bang for the buck of the contractors on minimizing mobilization and demobilization costs. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to ordinances and resolutions. I'll be seeking a motion to accept ordinance 2024-01, an amendment to the salary ordinance that we discussed in the study session.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2024-01 and ordinance amending ordinance 2023-33, establishing the salaries, wages, and compensation for the town of Dyer, Lake County, Indiana for the year 2024.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
I'll be looking for a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2024-01, a salary ordinance amendment on second reading.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance number 2024-01, second reading, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2023-33, establishing the salaries, wages, and compensation for the town of Dyer, Lake County, Indiana for the year 2024.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Next, I'll be seeking a motion to pass ordinance 2024-02, amending park department permit and reservation fees. Do I have a motion to pass ordinance 2024-02? An amendment to the park department permit and reservation fees.
Make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. I'll be seeking a motion to suspend the rules and pass ordinance 2024-02, an amendment to the park department permit and reservation fees on second reading.
I'll make a, go ahead.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, we have old business annexation request update.
Yes, so this is a follow-up to an item that was previously presented. We put it out to boards that would be affected by this voluntary annexation. Your correspondence package had something back from Christopher Burke that basically said no immediate stormwater concerns. Direction if the council is still interested in receiving information to take action on this possible voluntary annexation. You can direct us to have each department kind of give you an impact, or if you guys are not interested in it, we can take it off the agenda for future.
If the council is so inclined, I would seek a motion to direct our department heads and the town manager to continue this process of the voluntary annexation.
We can put if the motion is approved, we can put a time frame of getting back for the next meeting, an impact from each department so that you guys can make a educated decision on the future of that.
I'll make a motion to approve the voluntary annexation.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
I have a question on discussion. Is this a motion to approve the voluntary annexation or for the department heads to
For the
move forward?
department heads to
Okay.
look at it, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye.
Or we'll forward the staff findings to you by the next meeting for sure.
Thank you. Next, we have two findings of facts that we will accept into the records. Both the petitions have been heard and approved by the BZA at a previous meeting. So we will just read those into the record.
You will need to sign them.
Since you're signing them, do you need a motion on that, attorney?
No, because they've already been voted on.
Okay, so just signatures, okay.
Next up, under new business, we have boards and commissions. We have a stormwater appointment. The position that was open is a town council presidential appointment. I have appointed Anthony Hernandez. His application is in the packet, and I am reading that appointment into the record. Next, we have redevelopment commission appointments. I'll be seeking a motion to reappoint the town council members to the redevelopment commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the current members to the redevelopment commission.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
And the current members are the whole town council.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Mary,
Hi.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Next up, plan commission reappointments. I would seek a motion to reappoint Mary Tanis, Annette Ludwig, and myself to the plan commission.
I'll make a motion to approve the three town council members to the plan commission.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary. Hi. Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next, under new business, we have a correction to the March 15th, 2023 town council minutes. This would be to amend the old business section to properly document the EDC appointment of Mary Vaughn, requested by Council President Mary Tanis. It was motioned by myself, Robert Starkey, seconded by Annette Ludwig, and passed 5-0. That can be found at the 41-minute mark on the live stream. Do I have a motion to enter that correction into the record?
I'll make a motion to correct the appointment of Mary Vaughn to the Economic Development Commission.
Second that.
A motion, a second. Any discussion?
So this is to appoint her? This is.
No, that's what I was just gonna say.
Correction.
It
Sorry.
has to be the correction in the minutes, because you already appointed her, but it's the correction in the minutes for record.
The minutes just didn't reflect
Just-
that.
just
So Mary, if you could just say
Yep.
for the correction for the minutes.
Roll call, please.
Mary,
For the correction of the minutes, correct? That's what it was doing there? Yes, mine too. I correct mine too.
Mary, vote.
Oh, aye, sorry. I
That's
forget him the first Mary.
Jenna,
I'll abstain. I wasn't at the meeting on March 15th.
Aye.
Mary, Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, we have a National Softball Association fee reduction request. Town manager, do you have anything to add on that?
This obviously, with the notes has come through the park board as a recommendation and spearheaded by Director Gerbic, if you'd like to elaborate on it.
So what I'm requesting, what they requested is a reduction in our tournament fee, which is at was at $400 at the time. They requested for a $200, which is essentially a 50% reduction. Earlier in the meeting, we changed that fee schedule. So what I would ask is just a 50% reduction, so that way if there's any kind of fluctuation up or down, that we will not have to come back before you to ask for a change.
Would seek a motion to accept the 50% fee reduction for the National Softball Association fee reduction request.
I'll make a motion to accept the National Softball Association reduction.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
My question is, what's the basis for the, and we should have in the record a basis for the fee reduction, just so that there's on the record, there's a rational basis for doing this. So if someone wants to,
Well, they discussed it in the park board meeting, but if you want to go ahead and.
Yeah, if we could have that on the
So I believe it was the December meeting that they came before you to, during the study session to talk about the amount of tournaments they bring here, the amount of teams that will be at these tournaments, and the amount of economic development that will happen because of that. And they tried to keep their tournaments as affordable as possible to these teams. And in order to keep their prices as low as possible, they were seeking a reduction in the fees.
And if I remember correctly, it was a national level. I mean, they're not doing something just for us. It's at a national level.
They have tournaments in Cherville as well, and they have a similar agreement with Cherville, and there's other surrounding communities around us where they have similar agreements with.
In addition, I believe this request would put it in line with the other communities' fee rentals. So when NSA comes in, they host this in several towns at the exact same time. And if we were not to approve this, our fields would be more expensive than the rest of them in the tournament. Believe it or not, the small increase would possibly force them to maybe take these fields to another county that was available, and that would take that economic driven revenue out of our town. There's a lot of advertisement that goes on for the town of Dyer that it tracks some of the teams that are a couple states away too. So this was just to keep it, I believe, in line with the surrounding towns that will be hosting the exact same games at the exact same time.
yeah, we just want to have a record made that was sufficient.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you. I have a first and a second. May I have roll call?
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Hi.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next, I will be seeking a motion to approve the Center Bank lease agreement. This is for the billboard that is on Sheffield, north of Crafts. Justin, if you have anything you have to add to that.
This is just the same agreement. There was a provision in there that stipulated that written request to the town manager for the extension. They're happy with the terms if you're amenable with them as well.
I'll be seeking a motion to approve that contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the Center Bank lease agreement.
Motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Just for the record, this is our draft contract, so it's cleared in my review.
Roll call, please.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary,
Hi.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next, I will be seeking a motion to approve the non-health insurance renewal as presented in your packet and from Tom Brown earlier this evening.
I'll make that motion to accept the non-health insurance renewal.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Tom, I want to echo Council Woman Tim's statements of the appreciative, the thorough job you did in putting this together for the town of Dyer. All of the Dyer residents are benefiting from your hard work. We appreciate that. Roll call.
Mary,
Aye.
Jenna. Aye. Mary,
Aye.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob.
Aye. Next up, any and all.
I only have one thing. You could do it in between meetings, or I could do it now to swear y'all into redevelopment, but we can't continue on the redevelopment until you're supported.
Do it now.
Sounds good.
Okay, you know. So you could just like face me as long as I can see all of you. Raise your right hand. And when I say I, just state your name. I, Mary Hannis, upon my oath, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
To support the Constitution of the United States.
To support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
And the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
And that I will faithfully and honestly.
And that I will
Faithfully and honestly.
And impartially discharge all my duties.
And impartially discharge
all of my duties.
For the Redevelopment Commission.
For the Redevelopment Commission.
Of the town of Dyer Lake County, Indiana.
Of the town of Dyer Lake County, Indiana.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Do you want to swear in the
Cassie?
plan commission members too?
I can do that after the redevelopment meeting, not to hold that up. But you'll be signing in two places here on the way down.
Thank you. I'll be seeking a motion to adjourn our council meeting.
I move to adjourn. council meeting.
A motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, voice vote,
Aye.
Aye.
meeting adjourned.
Proclamation when making your way down there, if you guys can sign the appropriate spots when you're, as long as your wrist doesn't.
Still
Yes, it is.
You'll be signing two places.
Thank you.
But otherwise we just sign.
Dr. Mary, no, I'm just.
I'd like to call to order the January 18, 2024 Dyer Redevelopment Commission meeting. We have any citizen input? Hearing none. We're moving on to the consent agenda. I am seeking a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, the minutes of the December 20th, 2023 Redevelopment Commission meeting. Claims totaling $390,145.15.
So moved.
A second,
I'll second that.
roll call.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear the name. Aye.
Aye.
Mary. Hi. We want to move on to the general orders or the project updates, and we have a lot of projects, so we would really appreciate the project updates. And I know one of them is about the downtown district area.
Yes, well, there's some picture slideshows that will accompany this. We just wanted to kind of go over a handful of the items that are coming to conclusion here. Which one you have on there first? You guys have received the drone footage a while back from the Dirt Hill project at Central Park, but we'll go over that. It's one of the last accomplishments of 2023. As you can see, and driving by it, it really makes the project look finished over there. Increases the view of the park itself, but also makes it more of a clean scape. As Justin reported earlier, the last thing in this project would be to seed it and get it looking for spring as if it was a finished product over there. As this drone footage flies over the top, this is the berm that is most visible from Calumet Avenue. It's about 3 to 5 foot tall. In the future, there are going to be some trees on this one to kind of section off the dog park area versus the retail commercial development that'll be closer to Calumet Avenue. Amazing work. We met out there often, and the excavating job and precise according to drawings was just great to watch the updates. So we figured you would really gain a lot from the drone footage. You'll see the snow covered peak here. That's probably the highest point If the Parks Department in the future would like to market it for a sled hill, it could definitely be easily modified to accommodate that. And even if you don't, I believe some people will take advantage of that. The backside that you're looking at right now to the right is the abandoned railroad track area that will house our future bike trail from Central Park into Cherville. And circling back around here, you'll see how wide the project is. It's something you can't really get a picture of that if you're just in a parking lot. So I think the drone footage on behalf of the work from the police department really helps out in trying to explain what this project entailed.
You know, I have a question. What are the two spots where we're going to have additional parking? I know we talked about one closer to the Gold Star Monument.
That's a great question. And if it was directed my way, I would say that in this joint park board town council meeting we have coming up, we should probably identify that soon and get rolling very soon. I would strongly recommend it being somewhere near the Gold Star Memorial because it seems like a lot of our activities are centralized over there. So it will allow some parking and probably increase the attendance at that monument. And granted, given the possible frontage road that we're looking at in the future once development starts coming on there. So that'd be probably a really good agenda item for the joint session that we'll be having.
And I think what's important too is we have many people that are veterans that have difficulty getting to the Gold Star Memorial. And I've been asked several times, how can I get there? And I said, just drive up there. If anybody questions you, just tell them, you know, that you have permission from whatever. Because I think it's important that they visit it. I think and if they can't get there, if they can't walk, how else are they supposed to get over there? So I think it's will be a great asset to have a parking lot there.
And it would service the soccer fields and you know, park director would have a better idea of the exact location of, but it would definitely service also a large softball tournaments because you could enter from the south end as well and not over, you know, burden our north end of the parking lot. And again, the frontage road that we purchased the properties on would go from 213 pretty much straight south to Central Park Boulevard, which would tie right into this. So I agree with you that it'd be a great location for it. And the sooner the better. If we could get it done before June's fest, that would be better, but that's not an option. I think the next project we have loaded up in here is the downtown district. Is that correct?
You know, and I think it's important to identify what in the world's MKSK if people don't
Yeah.
know and who do they represent?
Well, that is no longer on the agenda, so it's just generalized as downtown district concept.
Yep.
So MKSK was one of the original vendors that we were talking to that we thought we might partner with to kind of show us what we're looking like here.
Yep.
But this is going to be just a presentation of the area that we're going to seek some input on and hopefully bring you a vendor that would be best for Dyer in the near future.
Good.
But again, these are the pictures that I relayed to Franciscan and in our talks. There's obviously an issue here with parking. There's not enough parking, and once we get the road done on Getler, we need to make sure it doesn't turn out to be like this because this is kind of like a find a spot, park a spot, and then there your spot's there. So our hope is that John Burge intersection where John Burge and Hart is located at, we're hoping that we can get some conceptual drawings from an architect that show you that that'll be the intersection that enters our municipal parking lot. We're hoping that we can, right where the cursor's at right now, obviously that building is torn down already and we own that property. So if you can picture John Burge as a T intersection, it would be Schulte Street on our end. We would not be eliminating Schulte Street. That's a legacy name for the road. But what we would be hoping to promote is that we would shut down the Schulte Street entrance, which is pretty close to the intersection and always been a hazard pulling in and out for pretty much everybody that's ever had to turn in here. It's I don't want to say close your eyes and pray, but pretty close. And so we would hope that we can get a conceptual drawing that shows this intersection being the feeder to our municipal parking lot. It would straighten out the area, would clean it up a little bit, and then we'd also work on identifying like our downtown area. Our comprehensive plan lists this area as the downtown district. It does show the remainder of the house is also not in the comprehensive plan, so we need to aggressively look at that. We have a couple properties left in the vicinity across from the public safety building. It would really round out the municipal green area over there. I'm hoping the hospital is very cooperative with us as far as parking, because they definitely need some parking over there, and we've reassured them that our parking on Gettler, at least on the east side of the road, will be for businesses only. So they will need some additional employee parking. In our meetings, I know I updated you the other day that with VFW and Windmill, it was basically a presentation of the option that you guys have selected for the road project, and just alerting them that their road project will happen in 2024. As Neil reported earlier, it's going to go out to bid spring, so I'm assuming mid-year at best that Gettler will be under construction. The unique location of Windmill and VFW will offer access to their business the entire project, since there's kind of a side access, a rear access, and front. So we're not worried that we'll completely shut them off at any particular time, but we definitely need to have a joint effort for the traffic flow so that we don't interfere with their main business. Both businesses were very, very appreciative of how the final look will be out front after kind of dealing with a very unorganized front for a long time. They expressed interest in staying here, and they're not thinking about leaving it anytime soon. I believe this project, if we can relocate John Burge and Schulte to make it into an intersection, I think this will be a project that'll have a great impact to the downtown area for years to come. It'll kind of redefine that little area and maybe even make it a little bit more developable for something.
We just need to figure out how to make a safe left-hand turn
Mm-hmm.
out of the street, because that's one of the worst places in the world.
Yep.
Did they discuss like expanding their own parking lot? Is that VFW, like the parking lot space? Is that the VFW?
So I was gonna say, if we had a better idea, if we can get on the assessor site, you could tell that this is owned by several different properties. It's chopped up. The town of Dyer actually owns a large chunk of the frontage of VFW parking lot. Then the hospital kicks in, then the VFW kicks in, then Windmill kicks back in. Then the town of Dyer kicks back in the green space, then back to the hospital. So this corner is so unique that one person probably cannot develop this to make it kind of any kind of uniform traffic flow. That's why we're kind of hoping that the hospital takes the interest that we do and say, let's sit down at the table. What do we want this to look like? This could be a great focal point. It already has been cleaned up. The corner is in way better condition than it was 10, 15 years ago. The wayfinding sign was a great addition. The removal of the house was even better, opened it up there, but now what do we do? And that's the point where, the RDC's vision is going to come into place right now.
And maybe that's what we can put on our agenda for next month, is looking at the assessor and who owns what. A real good description of it. And maybe inviting them to a town council meeting.
Whatever you'd like.
I mean, the VFW, I think that would be a step in the right direction. So we have them all together and make an appeal to them to work together to figure it out so that we can all win.
I would push it off a little bit till you get the concept back, and I would also probably bring the landowner instead of the actual people that occupy the building. But there you go. That's a great view. Frank's bringing it up right now. Those are all the different parcels that are listed.
Wow.
State of Indiana owns the corner. That's a good point there. And then it kicks into a hospital. Hospital. Town of Dyer. Back to the Windmill property. Now, if you notice the yellow line, we're back to Town of Dyer with that strip. So it's really choppy at best.
Now the VFW is in perpetuity. Is that true? Is it?
You know what? We'd have to ask they listed here on the assessors, but for some reason, the administration over there said there's some type of land lease that as long as it's a VFW,
Okay.
it's able to be occupied by them. But if they vacate it, it goes back to the original owner.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions?
So when we call downtown district, this is kind of what we're talking about, because that's how our comprehensive plan identifies it at. And we hope to have a a vendor on board that's gonna give a nice concept and something we can probably sit down then and meet with the landowners. Once we approve it here, I think we should prove what we think it should look like, and then I think we should probably, like you said, bring them in and say, all right, let's work together and make this happen.
Any questions? Let's move on to the bid award for the Calumet Avenue and Central Park Boulevard intersection improvement and traffic light. Neil?
For the intersection improvements at Calumet Avenue and Central Park Boulevard, we opened bids on Tuesday this week. We had 2 bidders, Reed Riley and Milestone Contractors North Indiana. And the recommendation for award would be made to Reed Riley Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $1,439,866.83.
And this is coming out of RDC funds.
I believe that's correct.
Yes, okay.
Correct.
That's why it's here.
So I'm seeking a motion to award the project to Reed Riley for $1,439,866.83. Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
Do we need a rational basis?
No, this is by statute. It's the most responsible and responsive
Yes.
bid.
Okay.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mary Kate,
Hi.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye.
And to be a pain in the nails, I will wait for the signature on the notice of award because as Dave and everyone has mentioned and coordinated with Frank and Jeff, we are on a incredibly tight timeline to have this open.
Yes.
And any delay in getting this project won't be on your end, they'll be on utility relocations of large organizations that provide electric and gas utilities to certain areas like this.
Thank you.
I know what you're.
You're just waiting for my signature.
Yes, absolutely. I'll get that before the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Hey, what was that projected date? When was the, I can't remember.
The desire to be open is the last week in May at the absolute latest, so that we're well prepared for the class.
That's what I was,
Yes.
that's what I was saying.
It's an aggressive schedule to be sure, but some of the work that the council and the urgency have done up till now has been securing the equipment for the traffic control signalizations in the poles. And those have been ordered and they're on schedule for delivery. And I'll make a copy of this and make sure I get it to our treasurer and staff tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
And I did hear wow on a couple of prices, because I echo that as well.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot, but when you look at the scope involved, there's additional lanes that'll be added, there's
Right.
relocation utilities. And again, this is going to be a major impact on what Calumet Avenue looks like and will be in the future.
Traffic control will just change immediately.
It will.
I'm sure.
Safety.
It'll be a driver for the economic on that corner, because it'll assist these businesses that will potentially locate there to then also have a way to stop. It's
It's huge,
It's huge, it's huge.
even with the expansion for the school down there. It's
Mhm.
still it's gonna help the traffic flow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any and all?
I have something.
Oh, yes.
This is the first meeting of the year and you need to elect your officers.
Okay. Do we have a motion to elect president of the RDC?
I'll make a motion to,
You need president, vice president, and executive secretary.
I'll make a motion to retain the previous year's positions as Mary Canis as president, Robert Starkey vice president, and Annette Ludwig as executive secretary.
I have a second.
Make a second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mary Kate,
Hi.
Annette,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Jenna,
Aye.
Mary.
Aye. Any and all? Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Say five.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.